I think everyone's in now. Okay, so I will start. You're welcome. All right, I will start my session. There's more people. Sorry, guys, there's more people coming in.
Sharon, una tabia mbaya.
I will, Wendy. What I will do is we all have Lizzie's email. So if you want the recordings, just email Lizzie and she'll be able to send you off the recordings. Okay. I'm just going to repeat it again because I know people are still coming in. If you are not asking any questions verbally, please put yourself on mute. So then, you know, there's no interruptions and extra noise in the background. Yeah, thank you. You just beat me to it. So I've just mentioned that again. Okay. All right, I'm going to get started. I think there's no more people waiting in the waiting room. So let's get started. So this is going to be an overall information session about ways we could come to Australia. So I'm going to cover a little bit of student visa. I'm going to cover a little bit of 407 training working visa, and I will cover a little bit of 482 visa, which is also a working visa. So at the end of the more people at the end of the session, we'll give you some time to ask all the questions. You could verbally ask questions, or you could put your questions in the chat box. Okay, and you can share it with everybody, or you could direct it to myself if you like. Okay, so please have your mics muted so that it's nice and clear for everyone else to hear me. And let's get started. Okay, it's going to get recorded. So if anyone comes in and misses a few information, there's recordings. All right, I'm just going to let them in and then I'm going to get started. Okay, admit all. All righty. So welcome everyone. My name is Shay or Shayma, and I am based in Sydney, Australia. And I will be talking to you not just from an education agent point of view, but also from a person who worked in the vet sector, which is the college, vocational education and training, and also university. And we'll be able to give you some information about ways you can come here, whether it's through employment or recruitment or student visa. Okay, so here's the agenda. As I said, we're going to cover a little bit of the college, but I'm not going to step into the college myself. This is my own college, but I want to also share university pathways because some of you might have completed a degree overseas. So if you have completed a degree overseas, it's better off coming here doing a university course rather than a college course. Okay. I'm going to keep repeating. If we could all mute ourselves once we're, once we're connected to the audio, just because I can hear a lot of background noise. Okay, so starting off, I want to actually start off with something called the Australian Qualification Framework for everybody. This is going to give you an idea of what visas you would be thinking about in the future. Sorry, could we all have our... Can we please mute ourselves? Just because I can still hear a lot of noise in the background. Okay, so basically, when you're thinking of which visa suits you best, you need to consider what you have completed in your home country. So I'll give you an example. If I have finished Year 12, only Year 12 high school, then I have the opportunity to come to Australia on a student visa and come on and do a course in college or university. Okay, but if I have completed a university qualification in my home country, let's say I have completed Bachelor of Nursing, then what happens is that you are better off coming here on a higher qualification. Sorry guys, I'm going to start muting people because I don't know who's talking in the background. I don't know who is making the noise in the background, so please mute yourselves because I can still hear a lot of noise in the background. Okay, so if I have completed a degree in my home country, then I would have to consider looking at a higher. So bachelor here in Australia is considered a level 7. So I would think about doing a level 8 or a level 9. So masters, for example, of nursing would be the most suitable. And why I'm saying this is because if you are going to apply and apply for a visa, and I have completed a bachelor, but I'm going to look for a diploma, so I'm going downwards, the visa won't get accepted. More likely it won't get accepted. So we want to make sure your chances are really high of getting visa approval. So always consider what level you're at in your home country and always climb upwards. If you have done a level diploma level, go upwards. We don't go downwards. It won't make sense to the visa caseworkers. So I'm going to go back now and talk about some of the courses for the ones who are in Year 12. I'm going to talk about this very quickly and then I'm going to talk about 407. I'm just going to let them in. Okay.
Sorry for interruption. Can you please mute everybody first? Can you please mute everybody first so that the host will talk? Please
I
mute
have
everyone.
tried, but I cannot mute everyone. I'm asking them to mute. From my end, I don't have that option, to be honest. I wish I did. I would have muted everybody. Give me 1 second. Maybe I can from my end here.
Yes, you can mute from your end as you are the host.
Audio settings, no. Yes.
Can we have one person controlling so that if you can easily check whoever is talking, then you can either remove that fellow until when he comes back, then you should have known the rules.
That is right. But the issue is this is a business version. I'm used to my personal one. This is a business one, so I don't know how to do it from a business point of view. And I'm doing the recording and talking at the same time. Okay, so can I mute everybody from here? No, this is just the audio. General, what's in general? I don't know if I've got that option. Admit. See, now it's quiet. I don't know what's happening, but as soon as I start talking, it gets a bit loud in the background. More options maybe here.
Shema,
Yes.
can you, I'm actually thinking we could just read out the names. I can see there was a Joy who was not unmuted. There's a Galaxy J8. There's Samuel Mabango. All these people
There's a
need to
lot. I know.
Yeah.
I've got over
kindly
70.
just mute yourselves.
So this is really so it's not telling me if I could mute him from my thing, from my system here. I can put him in a waiting room, but I cannot mute them. How come? This is bizarre. Okay. What I could do, can I give you, but I can't make you host actually. Can I make you co-host? Give me a second. I'm gonna make Lizzie co-host. Hopefully that works. No. I'm going to stop sharing because I can't see it when I'm sharing my screen. Okay.
I think we just continue, and we might have to remove some of the people who are still talking as you proceed.
I was thinking of that, to be honest, but the problem is I don't know who. I can only see 6 out of the 73 when I'm talking, so I don't know who exactly is talking while I'm talking. Okay, let's continue. Okay, if it gets a little bit chaotic, I am going to just put them in the waiting room and then go back to them and let them know. Yeah, that's a good one, AZ. I'm trying to make Lizzie co-host, but the issue is I don't have that setting in front of me. Okay, let's try one more time. If I put you here, where are you, Lizzie? I'm going through all the names. It's a little bit of an issue because there's a lot of us here. Okay, I'm going to continue so we don't waste anyone's time. See, I can hear the name, I can hear somebody, but I don't know who it is. I'll try and mute. I don't even have that mute button. I don't know why. This is a business version, so this is my first time using the business. I usually use my personal one. Okay. Let's go into the AQF. This is called the Australian Qualification Framework. I don't know if you heard me or not. Oh, can I do that? Okay. Am I going to do this physically to everybody? Okay. Alrighty, starting again. So from the Australian Qualification Framework, we have 10 levels, okay? This is our education system. So you need to consider what level you have completed in your home country, and then once you want to come here on a student visa, you would have to consider a higher level. So if I have completed diploma in my home country, I need to go on to a level 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10, something above my qualification. So just to make it easier for everybody's sake, let's say I'm going to give you the same example, Bachelor of Nursing. I have completed Bachelor of Nursing in my home country. What I would have to consider is something higher than a bachelor, which is usually a master's or a graduate, postgraduate diploma, etc. So just for an example's sake, the best thing for me, if I am an overseas student, is to consider a master's of nursing. So something relating to my field, something that's related to what I have studied in my home country, but higher than a bachelor. So this is the option I would go for. So Masters of Nursing would be the most suitable. Each person's going to have different, I guess, questions. But after that, after I finish, please ask me those questions later. But I'm just giving you an overall of how the visa caseworker works and how they think. Okay, I cannot do a bachelor in my home country and then come to Australia and do a certificate 4 or a diploma, because that's considered lower level of AQF, if that makes sense. Okay. Again, I'm just going to cover up student visa very quickly, and then we can move on to the other visas. So student requirements, basically what you need is financial evidence. You would need to fill out an application form, which is an enrollment form. You would need definitely your passport, current passport, and you would need all the qualifications and certificates from your home country. So if you have completed Year 12 certificate or high school certificate, we need this. If you have completed a Bachelor of so-and-so, we need the degree, copy of your degree plus the transcript. We also need the IELTS. If you don't have IELTS, anything equivalent. So a PTE, for example, PTE English exam is fine, as long as it's equivalent to the IELTS level that is required as a requirement. I'm not going to go into the other details because that could be, you know, we can speak about that later individually. Moving on to the student visa timeline. So basically, from start to finish, if you have all your documents in place, it shouldn't be taking more than 2 months. Sometimes it's as quick as 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and sometimes it does take a bit longer. That's just because it depends on the number of caseworkers and the amount of visas that have to be processed in that week or day or whatever. So basically, there's something called an enrollment fee you would have to pay for, and then after that, they would ask you to pay for the first semester of the course or the first term of the course in regards to the college. Universities are per semester and colleges are per term payments, sort of thing. The other thing you would need to apply for and get is something called the Overseas Student Health Certificate, which is based on how many years you'll be staying in Australia. So if my bachelor degree, for example, will take me 3 years, so I need to have about 3 and a little bit, 3 and maybe 3 months, 4 months of health cover while I remain in Australia and studying. Now I'm going to go on to 407 visa. I think that's going to be the more interesting visa to talk to you about. So I'm just going to let them in. Okay, and I cannot go up and down everybody. I've got to do it like manually. So whoever's not muted, please mute yourself. Otherwise, I'd have to be muting you. And I don't know who's talking or who's making noise. Okay, so let's hop on to 407 visa. For people who don't know what 407 visa is, it's a training visa. It will allow you to work up to 2 years in Australia. So it's a training visa, which means while you are working in the workforce, you'll get a bit of training. So you'll be getting a bit of training about the Australian standards, how we work, and how things are, you know, the policies, procedures and things like that while you're working. Oops, sorry. Just let them in. Okay. To get a 407 visa, it's got to be relevant to what's on the skilled occupation list. And I'll give you an idea of that, how that looks like. Ignore my... my furniture. I'm looking for furniture at the same time for students who have just moved to Australia. Okay, so skilled occupation list is something I'm just going to tap into for you to maybe fish around and do your own research. Okay, I think that's all good. So basically something called the skilled occupation list. It comes from the government, and this changes probably every 6 months, roughly, just to give you an idea. So if, let's say, just to make it easier, let's say we have a couple of teachers with us today. Okay, I'm not sure if that's the case. If I put teacher and I want to see if that's on the skilled occupation list, which means do we need more teachers overseas to fill our teacher positions in Australia? That's what it means, right? So yes, if I click teacher and search, I can see that we need a lot of art teachers. We also need dance teachers. We need drama teachers, early childhood teachers. The list goes on. Okay, I'm just scrolling down. Middle school teacher, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, roughly. Music teacher, and it's going, you get the hang of it, right? So if I was a teacher overseas and I wanted to consider coming to Australia and working as a teacher in Australia, if I could see a 407 training visa on the list, see here that says art teacher, let's pretend that's what I'm looking for. 407 is on the training visa, it is on the list. So then yes, I can actually apply for a training visa as a teacher, right? And you can do the same thing with any occupation, really. If let's think of another occupation. Give me an idea, somebody. What occupation should I put in here to give you an idea? Everyone's muted now. Should I just pick another
social work?
Social work,
Social
yeah.
work.
Yeah, let's do that. Social worker or social work. Let's see if that works. Yes, it is. It's on the list. So if I scroll down, it gives me an idea of all the visas that I could apply as a social worker, right? Sorry, I'm just going to add more people.
Environmental.
Okay. Sorry, say that again.
Environmental.
Environmental, as in scientist or
Environmental
engineer.
science.
Yeah, sure.
Science.
Okay. Social work is on there and it's 407. Let's try environmental worker or let's just put environmental and see what happens. There's an environmental consultant. There's an environmental engineer, if you're into that. Health officer, work health and safety, occupational health and safety sort of area. Manager, gosh, there's a lot. So environmental is a good one. So basically what that means is if I tick the box with the skilled occupation list, which you can see, so we need teachers, we need social workers, we need environmental engineers, okay, just to make it easy. What that means is that I need to look for a sponsor. So that means a company that is willing to sponsor me to come to Australia, and I work here as the environmental consultant or the teacher or the social worker. And these are just the requirements. I've got to be over 18. Yep, I tick the box. Good health and character. That's usually based on your police check or national police check. Health insurance, easy. That is something you could actually apply for online. Oh, sorry, not asked to unmute. Sorry, apologies. I'm trying to mute everybody, whatever I see. Okay, so if I tick all the boxes, functional English means something around, I would say 5. I don't want to go below 5 because you need to understand proper English, know how to write, know how to read, know how to communicate. Okay, so if I tick all the boxes, pretty much I could apply for 407 training visa. So it really depends on your industry background and if you find a sponsor here in Australia, which we could do, and if we can get you a job, then 407 training visa wouldn't be an issue. But in saying that, I want to make it clear that 407 training visa, because it's so easy in terms of the requirements. Someone's doing lovely drawings on my screen. I don't know who, but it takes a long time for approval. So honestly, some people are complaining and saying sometimes it takes about a year and a half, sometimes even 2 years. Okay, so I just want to let you know that 407 training visa is not a very quick visa, whereas student visa is a quick visa, or quicker visa, but training visa does take a while. Why you might consider the 407 visa? There's a lot of benefits, to be honest. It will allow you to work in Australia. It will allow you to gain a lot of experience while you're working. And it will allow you also to jump onto another visa. So if I start off with a 407 visa and I get 2 years of experience, it will allow me to move on to another visa, which is usually there's many, but I've got only a couple here, 482 visa and the 186 visa. And they all pretty much lead you to a permanent residency eventually, all right? Skilled visas, state nominated visas, there's plenty of visas that will, get you further down the track towards permanent residency. I wish I could do everyone at the same time. But the problem is I don't know where that button is. Can we, sorry guys, I know a lot of us are coming in and joining us. Can we please put ourselves on mute? So you need to mute yourselves because I can still hear a lot of noise in the background. Please keep all the questions at the moment with you. I know there's going to be a lot of questions. So we sort of touched on 407 training visa. I'm going to jump onto 482 visa. Okay, 482 visa is a little bit different. It has 3 categories. It has the short-term stream, and I'll explain what that means. The medium-term stream, and it has the labour agreement stream. So the labour agreement stream is usually someone sponsoring you. My company, and I'll explain that a bit later, my company will eventually have the labour agreement with the government. So that means I could, or we could, bring a lot of people from overseas and get them jobs here in Australia. So you might ask yourselves, what are the short and medium and long-term streams? Let me go back onto the skilled occupation list. Remember this? This is a government website. It's coming from the Department of Home Affairs. So if you want to give it a go and search in your own time, I'm going to just put it here. Whoops. I'm going to just put it in here so you guys can Google search later on. Apparently I've got people still in the room. Okay. So what that means is if I scroll down, I'm going to stick to the environmental, example. If I scroll down, you remember we are talking about, I'm going to go back here. We are talking about the 482 visa. I know in Australia we've got numbers. It's a bit confusing, but we'll get used to it. So 482 visa, if I open that up again, if I just go down and check if there's a 482 visa, yes, there is. There's a 482 visa here. And then as an environmental consultant, let's pretend I work as an environmental consultant in my home country. Here it will tell me if it's a medium or if it's a short or if it's a long stream, right? So this in this case, for this occupation, it's actually medium term. Okay, another trick here, if you look at the list here, if it starts with an M, it's medium. medium long, okay? If it starts with an S, that's a medium long again. If it starts with, that's regional, R is for regional. I just want to see if there's any S, just to make it easier for you guys. And no, there isn't. Okay, let me have a look at another one. Let's say teacher. I'm not sure if teacher has any shorts. Yes, see how this has an S? Someone wants to ask me a question. Is it Wendy?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are not sharing that one, so we are not able to see.
Sorry, say that again. I can hear a lot of noise in the background again.
You are not sharing that currently. What you're sharing is just the PowerPoint presentation. So we are not able to see the MS.
You're not share. Oh, you cannot see what I'm. Can
Yeah.
you see this now? Am I sharing the
Yes,
whole
yes, yes.
screen?
Yeah. Okay.
Now you can see it? Thanks, Wendy. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to have to repeat some of it again. All righty. So apologies. I thought I was sharing my whole desktop. I think I was only showing my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, let's bring this down and I'm going to start again and I'm going to bring them side by side. So then it's easier that way. Okay, so I was just talking about the 482 visa, and to make sense of what I'm saying, I went to the skilled occupation list, which I am, sorry, I'm going to just have to mute a few people. Everyone's muted. Okay, all good. All right, cool. So the skilled occupation list, which is coming from the Department of Home Affairs, right? And I was just giving you an example of occupation. So I chose teacher. And I was just trying to explain that there's short-term stream, medium-term stream, and there's labour hire agreement. Okay, so I'm just going to let you know how you could see it, how you could visualize it. So as a teacher, if I go to the 482, scroll down, 482 is on the skilled occupation list. So yes, I could come and apply as a teacher. That's a good, it ticks one box. But then I look here and it says short-term stream, right? Which is still okay. All that it means is because it's under short-term stream, I can only stay up to 2 years. But if it was a medium, let's see if there's any medium. See how this is an S? If I scroll down, M stands for medium. And also if you go to 482 visa, where are you? There it is. You know how here it says medium term? So it's a medium term stream, which means Australia wants more early childhood teachers. So teachers for under 5-year-olds, preschool, childcare centre teachers sort of thing. So all that means is I could still apply as an early childhood teacher under medium, and that would allow me to stay up to 4 years. Whereas if I was an art teacher, going back to this example, I could only, it's a short term, right? So I could only stay up to 2 years in Australia as an art teacher. Labour hire or labour agreement is a little bit different. That just means you could stay 4 years, up to 4 years in Australia in any profession, but as long as the company has a labour hire agreement with the government. That's all it means. So if you see 482 visa on the skilled occupation list, which is this here, that's a skilled occupation list. And if you see 482 visa in the visa list, then yes, you can apply and come. Okay, I'll give you another example. Let's pretend one of us is working as an engineer. Okay, sometimes it becomes a bit popular. Let me just admit everybody here. Okay, so we've got aeronautical, we've got agricultural, the list goes on. So you can see that we do need a lot of engineers from overseas, right? I'm going to stick to one, civil engineer. Medium to long term means I could stay or I could work in Australia up to 4 years under the 482 visa. Okay, I am not going to talk about the other visas, but if you want another session about, for example, 189 visa or any other visa, that could be another session, because we could talk and talk and talk about the other visas. So I'm going to just talk about 482 visa, which is, you know, bringing you here, working up to 2 years or up to 4 years, depending on your background and qualification and experience. Okay. That's just to give you an idea and overall. And I've sent you the link on our chat box. So you can all have a browse, fish around, jump onto the skilled occupation list and see if your, you know, if your occupation is on the list. If it isn't, there's no dead end. You can do something else. Just talk to Lizzie, talk to us, and we'll be able to give you a better idea of or the best visa option for you. Okay, so the 482, I sort of summed it up. There's a short, there's a medium, and there's a labour, and it's either 2 years or up to 4 years. There is a fee included up to 2 years. It will cost you. That's going to the government. So it's a visa government fee. Okay, I'm not talking about what the migration agent's going to charge you or someone else or education agent, etc. This is plain fee that goes directly to the Department of Home Affairs, okay, for them to process the visa. So I've given that information here. But you can actually Google this. It's very easy. If you want to find out more information, all you need to do is put in, let me show you how, put it in here and just put in whatever visa you are after. Make sure you are stepping into the Home Affairs. Don't look into the other websites. Sometimes it's old information or incorrect information. Just make sure you are going into the homeaffairs.gov.au, the government website. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out who's talking. I don't know who else is talking, but I think I muted everybody. Yeah, please, guys, I know some of us are still coming in. Make sure you mute yourselves, unless you want to ask me a question. But as soon as you come in, please mute yourselves. I'm trying to mute as much as I can here. Okay, so you jump into the Department of Home Affairs, and you just scroll down and it will tell you the exact price or the exact cost for the fees, okay, for the visa fees. And it will tell you, it will give you an idea of how long it takes roughly. Sometimes this could be a bit old, but that will give you an indication of roughly most of the time, like half of the time, it will take about a month. That's just an estimation. Okay. Okay. Because a lot of people coming in a little bit later, and I know you've missed out on a lot. I guess the opportunity would be in the Q&A period, question and answers. You can ask me all the questions. And if you have different questions that might be not related to this, maybe leave it to later. You can email Lizzie, email me, or I'm not sure if I have given you I don't think I have. So I'm just going to put my email in here. It's very easy. It's just my first name, and it's exactly like Lizzie's at training. transcend.training. Okay. Shema have I spelled it right? Yes, I have. Just double checking. Because when you're talking and typing, sometimes the letters go everywhere. Yeah, which link? Sure. Someone's asking me about the link. Is it the government link for the visa, or which link are we referring to?
I don't know. I think these are the people who just joined and they're thinking if they can get a whole recorded thing. So maybe that is something, if you're recording from your end, maybe that is something we can figure out how to share with the people later on.
Yeah. Yes, no problem. Because it's going to be very repetitive if I'm going to keep repeating, you're right. Okay, so anyone who joined us a bit later, we have recorded the session. So I guess the best thing is to maybe go through the recordings, and if you have further questions, then you could reach out to us, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Maybe I should put a pause because, I'm sure a lot of us do have questions. So would you like to maybe just have a raise your hand sort of question, or put it in the chat box, and I'll go through the chat box with you now and answer the questions if I can. I've got a question here already. Oh, sorry. I can't see from my end. Who has got their hands up?
Hi.
Hi, please tell me, what's the question? Throw it.
Hello.
My name.
Hello.
Sorry, I'll start with the lady and then I'll go back to you. Sorry.
Okay, my name is Susan.
Susan,
I wanted to ask about the last visa that you talked about, the medium. The medium.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, the fees that you've talked about there, that goes to the government, right?
Correct.
So do you guide someone who wants to come? Is that where you come in? And what kind of financial, or how much should we have before we can even think of starting the process, and where do you come in? How can you help us process that?
Very good question, Susan. Okay, so just to make it clear, I am not a migration lawyer or a migration agent, but we're just providing a lot of information because we come from the background, we've got a lot of experience. But in saying that, in terms of the requirements you need, the financials and everything else, I think the first thing we would do is to jump onto this one. Can you see this one? The Department of Home Affairs.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So in here, it actually tells you who is eligible, what do I need? And it will tell you, you must have this, that. And I'm just going to admit someone. Okay, as long as you meet all this requirement, let's say I'm not 100% sure what this means, check your eligibility. Click on it, see what I did here. I'll go back again. Sorry. Okay, so I scroll down, I press on check your eligibility, and then I go through each one. This is the best way to make sure you are ticking all the boxes. So for example, sorry guys, can you make sure everyone has muted? I think everyone's muted except just one or couple of people. Make sure please you've muted yourself. Alrighty. Okay, so you basically just click on the details here and then you go through each one. So you were talking about the financial. I'm going to scroll down and see if there's anything about financials. There's the health insurance, we know that. Requirements, character requirements, English level. You just click on that and it'll tell you what they need to see. You don't need to worry about that because you're from overseas. This is an easy statement. You just sign it off. Okay, I don't see any. Can you see any financials here? I don't see any financials. You need to be working at least 2 years in your profession. So if I'm a teacher, I need to be working at least 2 years before I apply. Yep. See here, I don't see any financials, which means the person or the employer that's going to be sponsoring you, they look after the financial side of it. Does it make sense? because if a financial requirement would have been here, a requirement, it would be on this list here. Yeah. So for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say I am looking at student visa. Student visa 500. I should have put 500, so it just takes me directly to that visa. Okay, there we go. No, sorry, not this one, the second one. This one here. And if I do the same thing, scroll down, have a look if I'm eligible for it. See here, it does have something about money. It does have something about financials on a student visa. So it will be on the list. And if I go in here, it will tell me how much roughly I should have. I think I'm guessing here, I would need, as a student visa, I would need something like $50,000 Australian, roughly, okay? But we will confirm with the migration agent, because migration agents do have, you know, better understanding of the latest requirements. Okay, so that's just giving you an example. Susan, did I answer your questions in regards to the financial evidence?
Yes, I believe you have. Thank you.
No problem at all. And there was a gentleman that wanted to ask a question.
Yes, good morning.
Sorry, can I get your name?
All right, good morning. My name is Uyi Terry Asemot. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Hi, how are you? Welcome.
Yeah. So I wanted to make an inquiry on the. Yeah, I wanted to make an inquiry on the work sponsorship. So I don't know, how do we get an employer that is willing to sponsor someone? And I want to know, is IT support part of the list, the selected list?
Yeah, very good question. There's ways where we could find employers in Australia. It does get a little bit tricky, but this is where we are here to help you. So, for example, my company is one company that sponsors people from overseas, but obviously not all occupations. So I guess the best thing would be emailing us your background, what's your occupation and things like that. If it meets our what we're looking for, we could sponsor you, for example. If we can't, what's your occupation?
Okay, I'm an IT support specialist with over 8 years working experience as an IT support specialist. Yeah.
Wonderful. And I know that IT is on the skilled occupation list. So if I scroll down and put in IT, I don't know if IT will work, or should I put information technology? Yeah, it won't work. Okay, so I've got to put something like information technology. Let's see what that brings us. Oh, you know what? It's off the list. It's not a very good thing, but what's your major? Are you in the telecommunications, cybersecurity, database? What's your background?
IT support specialist.
Okay, let's see if
technical
that
support.
Technical support, maybe that helps. Technical support. Let's see. No, okay, maybe IT. See, this one is very sensitive to letters. Maybe it's on, but I just have to get the exact word. So I could actually ask my migration agent about IT support, because I know that IT is on the list. I just can't see it here today. So let's, for example, you want to find an employer, right? We've got multiple job search engines that you could apply through. So, for example, Indeed is one that anyone could look for an employer. I'll give you an example here. For example, you would, if I was overseas, because that's my platform to find people. What you could do, go into Indeed. It's just called Indeed, but make sure it's got the AU. It's Australian and not American. How about I just share this now before I forget? I'm going to share it in the box.
Okay, I think I had done a comprehensive video on how
Perfect.
people from overseas can actually look for jobs here. But now the
Excellent.
tricky part is
Yes.
when they can find a job, but the whoever is employing them are not willing to sponsor them. You know, they're not willing to do the paperwork and all that. And I think it will be so hard if someone is navigating this for the very first time to actually
Correct.
do it by themselves, because it's all about paperwork. So I would just suggest they rather just get someone like the way you or we are doing to help with the paperwork, because that will be easier.
I totally agree. That's
okay.
a very,
I wanted to ask now. So meaning if there's possibility for your company now to help me sort out my the work sponsorship over there, where I send my credentials, my qualifications and certifications in IT, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I know that could be very tricky, and sometimes exactly what Lizzie said, you put your resume out there, you reach out to many employers, but sometimes they think twice because it's going to be costly honestly, it's going to be costly for the company here in Australia to bring someone overseas. They might say, oh, it's so much easier to find someone here in Australia rather than someone overseas. I know that could happen, but if, for instance, if I know a company that is looking for an IT support specialist, I could reach out to you and say, contact that person or email that person, and you'll probably get a job with them. Another thing I would suggest, if it gets a bit tricky to come here on a working visa straight away, jump onto student visa. I always recommend that, because if you jump onto a student visa, you could still work in Australia while you're studying. And then that way, it gives you the opportunity to actually meet companies or do some work experience, because once they see you physically working and things like that, there's a big chance of you getting a job. And then from the student visa, you move on to a working visa. And then after working visa, you can move on to another visa, nominated visa, skilled visa, whatever visa, but it will lead you to PR. So if it's hard to jump onto a working visa, maybe consider other visas just to make it a lot easier for you to come here and step into, one visa at a time, I guess. Yui, is that all right? Did that answer your question?
Okay, and I just have a question. I don't know if there's anyone online.
Anyone online?
No, okay, I'll ask the question. Okay, so I know so many people here because I'm on my phone. Some people are messaging me on the things to ask. So some people, what they want to know is how do we move forward? Yeah, I know I've been receiving resumes. I've been doing the enrollment and the enrollment part, and some people have actually submitted their, for us to do the vetting. So I know so many people are asking me this on my inbox, and I will say that now that you have an understanding of how the work visa looks like, or the skills visa looks like, you can easily make a decision and reach out. But one thing I need people just to understand is that it's gonna cost you a little bit more. It's not free, because so I'm just making a clarification for that on that. And then and then another thing is it might take some time, because as Shay has showed you guys, with the work visa, especially the 407 and the 482, sometimes it takes quite longer than some student visas do. So this is another thing that you guys need to have a little bit of patience in case your vetting process, or maybe after you have the interview with the sponsors and they tell you that you can actually proceed. So so I think that is something we can move forward after the meeting for those who are interested, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's a good summary. And what we could do is maybe whoever's interested, send a summary of what we've discussed. And then in return, you guys can, respond back and let us know what you're thinking about or what visa you want to jump onto. But because sometimes, we could see the bigger picture. We've been through this so many times. You might say, I want to jump onto 407. But if you give us an idea of your background and your resume, and we might say, you know what, it's better off starting with a student visa. You've got maybe 95% chance of getting a visa on a student visa rather than the 407. So we'll give you some feedback as well. In regards to that, because at the end of the day, we want the maximum or the most, the potential visas approved rather than just letting you try it out. Sam, I think, wanted to ask a question. Is it Sam?
Yes, that's me, Sam. I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, sure.
There is this one Coca-Cola company I applied in Kenya.
Yeah.
And they recently sent me the TSS form and the general job application. So I filled the forms and emailed them back. So I was asking, maybe if you can have any information about what's the next step from their side after sending me the TSS form and the general job application form and returning them back to for review.
They didn't tell you what's next? They haven't explained what the next process would be?
No, they have not told me what the next process will be. Not yet.
So you've pretty much filled out the form. You've sent them your resume and qualifications and things like that. Did they send you a letter of offer or an employment letter or anything like that, or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm assuming that probably you will be in the interview stage. So they probably want to interview you, Sam. I don't know, maybe via Zoom or something like that. After they interview you, then they, make the decision whether they want you on board, and then you will receive something called the employment letter or letter of offer. And then they would have to do everything. The TSS means they will be looking after your visa, applying on your behalf, and looking after all the arrangements from their end. But just make sure it's all in the agreement. Make sure it's all written and it's in the agreement before you accept anything.
But Shay, I think I just need to add something on that, because I've also I have so many people who've come up with that sort of like a story, and then you find later that the companies that are claiming to be sponsoring you are not even in Australia. So from the word go, you need to check if that company is in Australia. Just go on Google, check where their location is, get their Australian phone number, their business's number, their work email, because there's no company that will operate in Australia without all these. So there's so many circumstances where people are getting into a point of almost getting conned, and these people are not in Australia, because I know you cannot do that when you are here. So I will just let him know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thanks, Lizzie. That's I've never been across that, that could happen. So just, make sure in the emails, for example, or any documents they send you, if the company has an ABN or an ACN, the Australian business number, everyone has an ABN. Without it, you can't really operate or, run a company. So we're happy to do some investigation, Sam, if you like. If you want us to double check, let us know.
Okay, so thank you so much.
You're welcome, Sam. And Galaxy, you wanted to ask a question. I don't know who the person is.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Here in Kenya, I'm a police officer.
Yes.
And I would like to do a job of security guard or security. Those jobs to do with security.
Security, yes, it's not on the skilled occupation list, but there is jobs in security, definitely. Can I ask for your age, just to give me an idea?
37.
37, and you've done policing. Okay, it's a little bit tricky, to be honest. What we could do is look at, and you've completed a degree, I'm assuming, a Bachelor of Policing, or how does it work in Kenya? Is it a diploma, or is it an army training sort of thing, or?
It is a police training, and I've worked for 11 years.
Okay, police training. Is that like a specific university or college training, or no? Just to give me an idea.
College training.
College training. Beautiful. Okay, yes. So from there, let me investigate this more. I don't, here in Australia, we do have Bachelor of Policing, but it would not be offered to international students. It's only for Australian citizens. But what I could do, I could find something that's very close to your area. So something in security, something in, you know, that area. And I would probably give you some ideas, but honestly, in the skilled occupation, we don't have any security, you know, security guard or anything like that. But I do know, is it Yui? Sorry, I forgot your name, the person from Nigeria. It's ICT. I just forgot the C. So there is IT. Okay, it just popped up. Coming back to the security, I will give you the best options for you.
Shay,
yes.
Before we finish that question, I think the best of handling all this, because I believe so many people will come with, you know, sort of like a vetting to just understand where they stand.
Yeah, there's going to be
the application. I think to be able to move forward, if people can just jump and provide the resume and maybe provide do the enrollment form so that we know where they are, that will be even easy for you to like see the whole picture from their age, from what they've attained and all those sort of things, because sometimes it becomes so hard just to give if it's not a yes no answer, it becomes so hard because you don't see like the whole picture of the situation around how the visa looks, how the visa will look when they're navigating around the information they provide. So I think the best thing is if they can provide us with the resumes and all that. Give you more work.
Yeah, totally agree, Lizzie. Thank you. Because I can see more hands going up as well. When you send the enrollment form, there's a paragraph where you could just give us a bit of information, how many years of experience you have in an occupation, what you've studied, and then from there we could give you the best outcome for you, definitely. Unless it's a simple and not a you know, individualized question, I'm happy to answer them now, but otherwise, yes, let's keep that via email when we're vetting each one of you rather than answering.
So many people here have asked about what about the people who are not in their country at this point. Some people have gone outside to work and they're working, let's say in Finland, in Dubai. Where do they stand in terms of applying for this sort of like 4.7 and 4.2? Can we start and then we proceed and advise later, or what do they do?
Andy, very good question. Okay, basically, it depends on the situation, depends on what you're applying for. But I do recommend, because just from past experience, I do recommend that if your GTE, which is the genuine temporary entrant, like an essay form document, if that is not strong enough to prove that, you know, you're in Italy working as a chef, but and you want to come to Australia, if it's not strong enough, I recommend you go back to your home country and then you apply from there. Why I'm saying this is because Australian caseworkers from the Department of Home Affairs, if they don't reckon or if they don't feel that you are going back to your home country after you finish your visa, they will refuse it. They will refuse your visa.
Yeah.
So what we want them to know is that you are genuine, you are going to abide by the visa, and that you are going back to your home country after the visa finishes. But whether that's the case or not, that's not the question here. But we just want to show them that you are a genuine. You're not just jumping from country to country to country sort of thing, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I hope I've answered it, but this is based on your situation. So we will be vetting that part definitely.
Okay, some other questions. Since we are doing the first part of the vetting, are we going to have like an interview or a conversation with someone, or are we going to go through their resume and give back the feedback in writings, or how are we doing it? Because I think so many people have asked this.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I'm just trying to mute somebody, and I'm going through my 73 people and I don't know who that person is. Give me just 1 second. I'm just going to mute one more person here. I think I'm done. Okay. So yes, oh, no, sorry. There's a person by the name of Animo. Can you please mute yourself? I cannot find you on my list. Please mute yourself. I'm scrolling down, but I cannot find the name. Sorry, Lizzie, can you repeat that question again? I lost track. I lost track.
What were we even talking about? Oh, I was asking, some people are asking, okay, I don't know now which question specifically, because I was just reading some other more questions and trying to filter to see where they're asking. Yeah, some people just wanted to know that if they're living abroad, maybe overseas, not overseas, outside their country, let's say in Dubai, and some are living maybe in Finland, in Spain, whatever. So they just wanted to know, can they start doing the application if they are eligible, let's say for the 407 or 482 or for whatever work visa is? Can they start these, maybe go back during the process, or do they need to physically go and do the process when they're still in their country? Is this that question?
Yeah, no, I understood the question. So basically, I think we've answered that one. There was another question afterwards, but I'll answer this one. It depends on the situation of the applicant. So we will look at what visa he or she is, looking at, and what they've done in that country. Honestly, the caseworkers in the Home Affairs Department, they would prefer someone in their home country, because if I have, for example, moved to, let's say, Dubai, and I'm working there at the moment, they're going to think that that person's not very genuine. They're just moving from country to country to country. And this is why sometimes we say, go back to your home country and then apply directly from there instead of applying from the country you are in. But then in saying that, we would vet it first. We would look at it closely. If it's strong enough and we could prove that you are genuine and you are really wanting to come here and do the visa, whatever it is, 407, then that's fine. There's no need to go back to their home country. Yeah. So it really depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every person is considered as an individual. So it's just good we consider the resumes and the enrollment form to be able to advise correctly, isn't it?
Exactly right. Exactly. So it's going to be in individual cases. We've got to go through your individual cases. There's no black and white, and there's no like a checklist. So we look at your background, the visa you're looking at, the qualification you're in, everything, and then we give you the best outcome for you. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, no more questions from me. I think I've exhausted from my part. So I promised my people that I'll be launching the 482 visa. I'll be waiting for you to give me all the payment instruction and everything, so that I tell them what to expect or where we're looking at in terms of finances, because I've already given them about the 407. I've told them everything from the first part. They need to be eligible before we even talk about finances. They need to be eligible to apply for that visa, which is what we are looking into before we even start anything else.
Exactly, that's right. So as a starting point, definitely sending off your resumes, putting as much information in the enrollment form, and then from there we could give you the best outcome. Or if we feel like there's a category or cohort that are all looking at IT, and then there's another one with teachers, maybe we could have separated industry Zooms in the future, just for more information. But at the moment, I think we just give you a broad, info, have a look at the links that we've sent you, and then we can go from there, definitely. Yeah.
Perfect.
Any, yes.
Please, I have a question. Please, can I ask a question?
Of course.
How do we send our CV across, and the other form you make mention of, how do we get it and fill it for you guys to check our eligibility? And like for me, just as I said, I'm an IT support specialist with over 8 years experience, a bachelor's degree graduate in computer science, and also done some certification course in cybersecurity and technical support as well. So how do we send our credentials, our details, our resume, the form you made mention of a form? How do we get it? How do we send it across to you guys? How do I contact you if I want to send anything to you, if I want to get any information regarding this whole visa process? So I don't know if you can drop your contact on the chat box, and where to send the CV to, and how to get that particular form you made mention of. So if there's any way you can just drop this information for us, saying we'll start off from there. And I believe when we send our information and you see we are okay, our job skill is part of what the Australian government is actually looking for, then we can as well start the process. You understand? To me, finance, I know in anything, nothing good comes easy. You understand? In anything of this nature, you have to spend for it, and you have to spend in order to get what you are looking for. So the finance aspect, now what I will spend, because I actually thought of going through the school route, but the tuition fee, cost of living and all that was so expensive for me. So I said, since I have this work experience, number of years work experience, I have a good certificate and all that. So why don't I go through the skilled workers route? So if I know it will cost me anything, I know that's not an issue. Just give us the form and where to send our CV across for you to check and know other possible way you can help us.
Oh yeah, I think what we've done.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Please, alongside his question about eligibility, let me also ask on the side of many people here who have not asked, but we had discussed later in the group, eligibility issues. We have guys who have diplomas, guys who have degrees, and guys who are just high school level leavers. You also talk about them, because we have several of them here, and they want to also know what they can do. Others left school several years and have been doing some side hustles. So they also want to know what is their stake in this particular case.
I think that was explained earlier.
Yes, we sort of did. Yeah, we'll start with first contacts in regards to Yui. Lizzie, would you be able to share the enrollment form and things like that? Or
yeah, I think I've shared, because I know most of people here, I invited them, right? So the way you reach me, come reach me. I will have a talk, because I also need to make sure that I'm not dealing with just anyone. I want to get people who are serious, people who want to do this. So I don't want just everyone to be sending me, you know, the resumes and documents and attached documents. I just want to have a conversation with each person. You can join my Telegram where I have members. I think we are about 100 now or something, I don't know. So most of these people, they already even know that they need to do something before they actually come and start this, because we can have a conversation, we can talk. Some have already sent their resume for vetting part. They're waiting for you, Shay. So you guys can reach me. I will give you my work number. You will share your resume. You will fill in the enrollment form. But after we've had a word, I just don't want to throw my email here and then everyone to, yeah, that will be too hard.
Yes, I know. That's so true. And James as well. Yeah, I know there's a lot of us who just finished year 12 and a lot of us who just completed college or university or whatever. Yeah, this is going to be a case by case. Year 12 students, honestly, whoever just finished high school, you guys are the easiest bunch, honestly, because the first thing I would recommend is just go on to student visa. It's going to take maybe 1 or 2 months, and then you start a course here, and that's just your starting point, and you can work your way up. So that's easy for the year 12s. People who finish college, again, very easy, because if you have done a certificate or a diploma in your home country, I could easily recommend, say, okay, whatever, you remember the AQF that we were talking about? Whatever your AQF level is, whatever level, so diploma level, move on to a bachelor. If I did a bachelor, move on to a master's, etc. And this is how we look at it. Like visa people look at it. So there's student visas, but then again, you might have just a college certificate, brilliant. Let's say you're a cook or a chef. You don't have to come on a student visa. There's other ways. You could come on a 407 visa and work as a cook or a chef. So that's what Liz is trying to say. The best thing is to send her the resumes and send the enrollment form, because that's going to give us a lot of information about you and your background. And then this is where we could say, this is the best visa for you, or you might have a couple of visas and we'll suggest them both for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I've made sense.
What is that?
And hope you can understand my heavy Australian accent.
Yeah, and I hope people understand that you're very busy and you're not easily reached on phone.
Liz, I know, Lizzie, you struggle to just reach out to me. I'm so sorry. I am, for the ones who don't know me, I've got like another 5-10 jobs on the side. You wanted to ask me a question, right?
Yes. Is it say you're working with the 487 or the 482 or 407? Is it possible for you to bring your spouse?
Sorry, is it?
Do they allow? Does the 482 or the 487 allow you to bring your wife or your husband to Australia with you?
Absolutely. You can bring the whole family. It just means, you can. It just means it's going to be more costly because there's more health insurance for each member. And then other things as well. As I said before, the best thing is to, let me just share this one more time. The best thing is to jump onto whatever visa you're looking at. In the eligibility, it will tell you that you're allowed to bring this and that. If you're bringing your children, your wife or your husband, you can, but this is the extra, expense on you. But yes, you're allowed to, definitely. Even if it's on a student visa, you're allowed to bring, Sometimes I recommend, it depends again on your situation. Sometimes I say it's better sometimes for you to come, settle down, get an accommodation because it's not easy, then bring the family. What do you think, Lizzie? You've seen it all.
You can become a street kid here very easily with your family. You need to know it's very expensive. Rents here we pay weekly.
Yes.
It's very hard to get accommodation, especially here in South Australia, close to impossible. So you need to come prepared, knowing that it's a hard life also.
Yes.
You need money.
That is right. So sometimes, honestly, you can bring whoever you want, but it's better to come, suss it out, experience the environment, experience the new life, then bring your family member. Because renting one room or one bedroom or one apartment is easier than bringing the whole family. That's just an advice, but you can bring whoever you want.
Some people are very, some people have money. So if you have a lot of money, that's fine.
It's costly. I must admit, it's very costly. Any other questions? So I'm just going to mute a few people. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, sorry, Rebecca, did you want to ask me a question? Is it Rebecca? I can see your hand up, so I don't know if you want to ask me a question or you've changed your mind.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, tell me.
Okay, I'm Rebecca from Kenya.
Hi.
I am a teacher.
Oh, I gave you an example. Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Yes, you did. But my query is, since I'm 41 years old, you see, I'm not getting younger.
You're still young,
Is
Rebecca. I'm older than you. Tell me.
And you said that 4-7 visas could take quite a while. It could take like 2 years.
Honestly, it can take a while. Yes.
Would it be possible to get a visa that would not take so long, so that I can now cross the age limitations?
Yeah, because there is age limits on certain visas, correct?
Yeah.
That is right. I would definitely
What advice would you give me?
Yeah, I would definitely ask you more questions in regards to if you've got a partner, what does your partner do? If you have children, what do they do? I'll ask you a lot of questions because sometimes what I believe is you realize that maybe your partner would be better off coming here. Or if you've got a student in year 12, I'd say get your for example, I'm just giving you an example, on a student visa, and then you all come here sort of thing. So I look at the members and sometimes looking at other members coming on other visas would be easier. So it depends. I wouldn't ask you now because we've got other 70 people, but definitely we would have that conversation to just get more information from you. And then I would definitely double check with the migration lawyer. He or she will get more information for you. Yeah.
Okay, that would be nice. Thank you.
No problem, Rebecca.
I will keep in touch.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Question.
Yes.
Okay, my question is, you said the education visas.
Yes.
Okay, if someone, for example, I'm currently based in Doha, Qatar.
Yes.
And of a certain, I mean, the hospitality and line of work.
Okay.
And if someone wants to do the student and upgrade, as you have said,
yes,
what of a time frame can be given to such a person so that he or she can plan himself, he can apply, and also because money is involved, so that he can be pay a little bit on stages? Is it available on such kind of a person?
So your question is someone from the hospitality background?
Yes.
And you're looking at an education visa, so student visa,
Yes.
to upgrade your qualification or improve on that.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
What have you completed, or what has that person completed?
A diploma.
Lovely. They finished a diploma. There is a
And
lot of, yes, tell me.
And he or she is of ages or between 35 to 36.
Okay. Best thing for them would definitely be jumping on a bachelor. Yes, or I would suggest also 407 visa, because if we go back to the skilled occupation list, chefs and cooks are on the list. Okay, maybe 407 visa. Yeah.
But he's not a chef or he's not a cook, so he's on the management side.
Oh, manager, hospitality manager. Okay.
Yes. And the diploma that he has or she has is a lower diploma.
A diploma. What do you mean a lower diploma? Sorry.
So there's a lower diploma and a higher diploma, right?
Oh, here in Australia, we only have a diploma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I even forgotten that.
We don't have, under the diploma, we've got something called certificate 4. So we've got certificate 4, then diploma. So maybe you're talking about a certificate 4 level.
Yes, yeah.
Aha, okay. Again, definitely it's a case by case. So you're talking about hospitality manager or hotel manager or something. See, there's accommodation and hospitality managers. It's on the list.
Yes.
So as I said, 407 would be the best option, or going on to a student visa, doing a hire.
Yes.
But then there's this, and there's this even 482 visa for them.
Yeah,
okay,
but again, the gaps. If they're having the gaps in between, because you just said that they're 30, was it 30 something?
35 or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So since they did a diploma to now, that could be like almost maybe 10 years. So you will have to account for all they've been doing for all these 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but if I have a for example, I have a work experience of more than 12 years out of Kenya.
Oh, okay.
How would that be?
Okay. Just to double check, I would definitely ask that question to the migration lawyer. But because you have been in that industry for 12 years, I can clearly see that you are a genuine temporary entrant, because you haven't been jumping, doing other industries. You finished your diploma, went to Qatar, did 12 years or whatever it is. You'll be able to, I think the best option would be either 482 visa. Maybe not 407, because it's a training visa. You've got a lot of experience, not 407, then jump onto a 482 visa. Yeah, because that requires people who are skilled. Does it make sense? Yeah.
That makes sense. My other concern is now the finance part of it.
Yes.
If the 481 is study visa, right?
Sorry?
The study visa.
Yes. So that is the money paid all in full or in installments?
So with the 482, okay, I'm waiting for the lawyers definitely and the sponsors to come up with a plan on how we are going to pay for everything. As I did with the 407. So if you watch on my YouTube or maybe on my TikTok, you've seen I've given you guys the breakdown on how everything will be paid. Everything is in black and white. There is no, everything is in black and white.
No gray area.
No. Everything is in very black and white. And once we get the budget or how we are going to pay for the 482, then I will tell you guys. But I promise next week.
Yeah, because the reason as to why I'm saying this is some of us have to plan ourselves. Let's say, for example, if you want to after a year, but you can be able to pay the amount as you go on. So let's say, for example, you come up with a payment plan, pay, and when you finish, then you can go on the
with the 407, I think if you watch or if you've seen the PDF that I've been giving people about how we are paying the 407, we are paying in bits. There's the first phase. After they term you as an eligible applicant. If they say, we think you're good, you can apply for this. So you will pay, was it the $2,000? And then after that, you'll pay the lawyers. That goes to the lawyers again. You'll pay, like we've broken down everything.
Okay.
So it will be into stages, because we don't just apply the visa. Like you don't just submit the paperwork and you pay everything. And no, there's process, there's paperwork. Visa is just process. There's so many stages when it comes to applying any visas.
Okay. So
but
that's what
I will wait for all the budget and then I'll give you guys for the 482.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, because we need to know how much the lawyers are going to charge. When it comes to this visa, it is the lawyers who are going to lodge, not Shay. She doesn't do the law part of it.
Thank goodness. No, I don't touch that.
Yeah, so we need the lawyers, and the lawyers here in Australia are very costly. I told you guys, there's a time I think you were live and I told you I was just calling for a lawyer and they told me she is not, I didn't think I told you, Shay, she's not even available until February.
Yes.
Was that 28?
Yes,
and I'm
it's
thinking,
crazy.
wait, it's just January. It's so hard to get these people.
And costly.
Costly.
Yeah. But what we could do with the vetting and with the document preparation, we will prepare you as much as we can. So it's not as, I can't say not as costly, but it's going to be more productive than you doing it all on your own. Because honestly, it could be really tough at times. Definitely. Someone else had a question, I think. I heard someone in the background.
Please, Lizzie, I'm in your WhatsApp. DM. Kindly respond to my messages, please.
Oh, no, not now. Now we are still in the meeting. You try and reach me later when we finish this. You can try and reach me. But again, you guys, you need to know there's time difference. I know so many people call me at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Yeah, we are almost 7. I'm in South Australia. And in Australia, we also have different time zones. Because where Shay is, I think they're 30 minutes ahead.
Yes.
Those ones who are in Western Australia, they're much behind. So you guys need to understand the time difference. Sometimes it might not be the right time to actually reach on person.
Yes.
So if maybe you can just write in, explain, not just a hi, just write a little bit of what you want to know, and then I will respond to you. Because I also get so many people messaging me every day.
Yeah.
Hello, Lizzie.
Yes.
I have a question. My name is Florence Jogo. I'm currently working in Saudi Arabia. I'm working as a caregiver. I'm a Kenyan.
That I cannot hear you. I think you're breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that's better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying my name is Florence. I'm currently working in Saudi Arabia as a caregiver.
Yeah.
I was asking which form am I supposed to fill, because I want to go and work also as a caregiver in Australia when I
okay, can we maybe even you've just reminded me something that so many people have actually asked me. Let me ask Shay now that she's here. So many people are living in is it Qatar? Yeah, and they're working there as caregivers. They're working there as caregivers. I think with the training, I don't know if they do the training back from their country or they go there and do the training there. I don't know how, if they can come here and work as caregivers, Shay.
Okay, just to make it clear, caregiver, are you dealing with aged people or with people with disability or with children? Because we don't have, that's an American term. So which background is it? Which area? Are we dealing with aged care people?
Okay, currently I'm working with aged people. I'm caregiving an aged person.
Oh,
got you. Yes. Okay. I'm just going to mute you for a sec. Okay. So yeah, no, that's fine. If you're working as an aged care or a caregiver in other countries, again, we would want to know if you have completed any certificates, any diploma, any courses, and how many years have you been working? Look, aged care worker here or disability worker is not on the skilled occupation list.
No.
But in saying that, other states do have it on their list. So, for example, I live in New South Wales, Lizzie lives in South Australia, a different state. South Australia does offer it. My state does not offer it. So we will be able to give you the best outcome. I might say, don't bother with New South Wales. We don't have it on the list. Go to so-and-so state. That's number one. The second thing is it depends on your age, it depends on like your background. You might want to come here and do certificate for an aged care with diploma of community services. That would be very suitable for you because you're in the caregiving industry. So yeah, as soon as you send off the resume, enrollment form to give us an idea of what your background is, these are the two things we'll be suggesting. Student visa, if your age is appropriate, and we might recommend going to, for example, South Australia. Don't worry about New South Wales, maybe go to Queensland, etc. Yeah, we'll give you a better picture.
But my question with that, because I know so many people who just completed year 12 and and maybe they've been already outside for 2 years, they're working as caregivers, right?
Yeah.
So with these 2 years of them working as a caregiver, could they still apply for student visa, maybe with certificate for and diploma? I think that is applicable because they don't have any gaps, isn't it?
Absolutely. That would be fine. Again, in the GTE, the genuine temporary entrant document that we were talking about, the best thing is to make it clear that you finished year 12, then you moved on to so-and-so and you worked as a caregiver for 2 years or 3 years or whatever it is. Because you don't have any courses, I would suggest something doing certificate 3 level because that's foundation, and then certificate 4, and maybe a diploma as well. If you show that you want to do a whole package like this, you are genuine. You know, you're not coming here doing a short course and then doing something else.
No.
It's a stronger case, definitely. Yeah.
Easy.
Easy, this one.
So I think for those guys, especially with the caregiving experience, and if this is what you're doing, you can reach me. I will give you the list of the courses that we are having also, and just tell you what we need, because we need a passport, we need English to start with. Anytime anyone comes to me and they need to apply for those courses, I will ask them to go and do English, because that is like the must to have, or the must to produce.
That's true.
And we don't ask for too much. No, we just ask you, was it 5 or 5? That's good.
Hello, Lizzie.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from Qatar.
Yeah.
So I've done a diploma in hotel management, okay?
Yeah.
But just worked like 1 to 2 years in Kenya, came to Doha as security, moved from security to metro. So
what's
in
metro?
I did metro. Metro is metro station. So a metro company.
Okay,
like
yes.
the metro buses, right?
Okay.
The public
transport. So I moved to metro. I did customer service and I did tram driving. So what will be my options?
So your option, I think you need to provide the resume first, because we need to see all this we need to see it on the broader picture. We need to see, when did you complete? How old are you? When did you move? What have you been doing? What are your skills? What are your, we need to see that for us to be able to provide the best advice. Because it's not like a yes or no answers. It's something that we need to see everything before we give you a feedback. So I would request you again to make sure you reach out to me. I'll send you my work email. You will fill in enrollment form. You give me your resume, which is CV in Word document. And again, from there, we can proceed after we see if we can give you information.
One more question. Like 2 years ago, I did this English test. Can I still use it, or do I need to have a new one?
I think it's eligible for 3 years, is it?
True, yes.
Not sure.
Which one did you do? Did you do PTE, IELTS, TOEFL? Which one did you do?
No, I wanted to apply for a college in Australia, TAFE, but I didn't pursue it. So I had like a 6.5.
Oh, wow.
But due to
nice.
That's good.
Okay,
yeah,
you
so
make sure
due
you
to
reach on
COVID,
me.
I didn't pursue.
Just make sure you reach at me, and then we can discuss that, your issues with you. Because I think that was so good to get a 6.5 is not a joke.
Yeah, you can get in a lot of stuff with 6.5. That's good.
So just make sure you reach on me. I think you have my WhatsApp number. You can message me. I will respond to you if I'm awake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, dear.
Is it Emmanuel? Did you want to ask a question?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
I wanted to inquire about two things.
Yes.
One is about, is the English test necessary for each and every visa, like students visa, the 407 and 482?
Sorry, I'm going to just mute somebody. Say that again. I didn't hear you properly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, repeat the question again, Emmanuel.
I wanted to inquire about the English test. Is it necessary for all the visas, the 482, the student's visa, and the 407? And the other question was about if maybe you had the old passport. I think I had asked Lizzie about it some time ago. You had the old Kenyan passport, the black one or the navy blue one, and then now you have the new passport. Is it going to apply with the new passport, or is it going to apply the old passport? The old passport is definitely disregarded, but are they going to review your travel history depending on the old passport, or they're going to focus on the new one?
What are you planning to tell us? Are you planning to lie that you did not travel? Because they will see, they will catch you.
No.
Because like when you travel, all your information is scanned. So and with the immigration, I always tell you guys, Australian immigration is, oh my goodness, we have the best immigration system in the world. They're very tough, and if they don't believe anyone, so they're always looking for a reason to trust you. So if they find any reason not to trust you, then you will be denied visas. So the best thing, if you ever travel anywhere, it's just good to say the truth. So include all the information, because they ask during the time when you're lodging visa, they ask you, have you traveled anywhere before?
Yeah.
You have to provide all those evidence, because if you don't provide and then they come to realize, should it even be 10 years later and you have citizenship here, you'll be in trouble.
Yeah, look, honesty is the best policy. You've got to be up and front at the very beginning. If your current passport is current, so it doesn't have an expiry on it, so use it. That's fine. I don't think it's about...
No, you cannot travel with it at the moment, because I wanted to travel and they told me you cannot. Yeah,
even though it's current. Oh, they've changed it.
Yeah, they've changed, because Kenya used to have an old passport. I think I still have that. And now they have an updated
the blue one.
Yeah, the blue one. So for most of the people who still hold the black passport with all the information of the records of where they've traveled, it's not going just to disappear like that, because this information is on other people's systems. So
Yeah, definitely upgrade it then if that's the case. I didn't know you've got two different coloured passports, so just get the current one, definitely. They're not going to base it on what's on your passport. Like I just changed my passport because it got expired. It doesn't mean they don't know what happened to me last year and the year before. They'll know. So we're not going to run out of that. We can't hide from that part. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you've been traveling, that's fine. You just have to be honest and let them know you're genuine and this is what you want to do because this is your goal, or this is what you want to study, or this is what you want to do. And I tick all the boxes as much as
travel,
you can.
I think for the people who've traveled a lot, that even gives the migration enough, confidence in them that these people are genuine because they've gone to other countries, they've gone back to their home, they've gone to other countries and they've traveled them. So they will still look at you as someone who will come and visit Australia and still go.
Yeah, that's right. That's sometimes a bonus. It's not something bad. It's a good thing. Yeah. So besides the passport, is there another question, Emmanuel?
No, I'm comfortable with the two questions. About the English.
Can I ask something?
Yes, sure, Eric. I'm just going to finish off the English question with Emmanuel and I'll come back to you. Yeah, that's fine. So with the English, Emmanuel, did you want to ask what's the requirement?
If all the visas require for you to do the English test, or it's just that maybe like the 482, maybe it doesn't require, or the 407.
Yes. Very good question. Yeah. Okay. So honestly, every single visa requires some sort of English. Yes, some might require higher English levels. So for example, student visa, the minimum would be around the 5.5. For a 7 visa, it's around the 5. It goes down a little bit. For a 2 visa, it depends on the profession, because some professions, like for example, customer service, you need to verbally and communicate very well. Whereas if you're a truck driver, don't worry about it, as long as you can read a little bit. I'm just giving you an example. That was a horrible example. But anyways, so it does require English. So what you do is exactly what Lizzie said. Do the IELTS, make sure you've got your passport, send them off because they will definitely be requirements for any visa.
Yeah, and Australia is the English-speaking country, so they want people who are coming here to be speaking English. So they want to make sure that before they give you that visa, are you in a position to come here and communicate to other people?
Yeah.
So that is the reason why they ask for English, because this is a speaking English country.
Yes. Hopefully we can pick up other languages. Yeah. All good, Emmanuel? Does that answer your questions?
Yeah, it does.
Thank you. I think it was, sorry, was it Eric? I didn't write your name. You wanted to ask a question?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon or good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, how are you, Ma?
We're good.
Yeah, I'm very much sorry I came late because actually I've been fighting to hook up with this program at all the time. I do believe I even messaged Madam Lioness. But anyway, I just want to ask a question because now for me I've been spending a lot. I think 3 years back I spent up to something like $1,000, $2,000, almost $2,000. At the end of the day, I didn't see any benefit on Australia program. So I just
where
made
have
up
you
my
been
mind.
spending? Have you been spending on with
No, I don't. I never sent, but in my country, we have some people who might tell you that.
Education agents. I've heard stories. Yeah.
You understand? They'll tell you that we can do this program for you to go to Australia and study. At the end of the day, after you spend your money, in fact, you'll not even see them anymore. So that prompted me to travel. I come to this Asia country because presently I'm in Bahrain. I'm working for oil and gas company. So I just want to know what is the procedure for this student visa, and as well again, if you want an employment visa, what will be the procedure?
So I think we've already discussed this, sweetheart. I think you're just so late, but yeah, that's okay. I know you have my number, right? Because I also need to release Shay to go and sleep. It's almost 9 and she's a very busy person. Oh my goodness.
Oh, good. It's all right.
Yeah. So I will ask you to actually reach on me. I will give you an information, or maybe I can do a recording of what we've talked about and post it, and you guys can, you know, keep on watching it, and yeah, that will be helpful to you. Again, everyone's case is considered as individual, so it is good you reach to me and I'll help you out. Okay. And
Okay, yeah, because no, actually, like my parents are in Australia, my mom and my dad are in Australia, and that's why they get that. Yeah, they have been trying. So, like, if I have opportunity like this, I just don't believe that I'll just send them directly to you people, and it will be very much easier for
Oh,
me.
that's all right. You can just reach on me. I will give you my, if they're here, I will give you my Australian number, because there's so many people here that I'm also working with them. So I can give them, you can, yeah, because I understand also that so many people are losing their money. But you guys, you need to know one thing, that in Australia, you could never do what people do outside there.
I know
We
that
cannot
one. I know
just,
that
yeah, it is a very black and white place. Like everything here is very straightforward. For Shay to come here and talk about how she's helping people and offering jobs, she needs to have a registration. She needs to have a company, and that is a requirement. So things here are very straightforward, and I just want you guys to know that you are on safer hands. And to be also very careful, because if something happens to you with your money outside there, no one will be, you know, yeah. So you just get my WhatsApp number, reach on me. I'll give you my Australian number. You can give to your parents. They will call me, okay?
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Oh, I appreciate so much.
You're
My
welcome.
pleasure. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yes. Once again, I really want to thank Liz for the big efforts that she has made so far, because Liz, you can still see
that's lovely
in our group.
Yes.
We are about almost 500 people, and still have some trust in you in the manner in which you've explaining these all along. And just to enlighten you guys, here in Kenya, we have so many agents, but we've heard of cases whereby people have spent too much and yet lose a lot.
Yeah.
And others have even been taken to court. We've had police cases here, left and right. So now, in this particular group of Liz, I really thank you greatly for the efforts you've made. At least you've shed light, you've enlightened guys, and there in the group I could see others say, at least we've found someone who is taking us to the right directions, and all our answers are being answered the way we want them.
Oh,
See,
thank you.
they seem to be real.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
Now,
you. And you need to just know that there are other groups. It's not just one group. We have several groups. We're about 5,000 people. But I thought adding people on those groups because I realized that so many people are in there with just wanting to know, but they have no interest of coming to Australia. They're just exploring. And I was like, no, I think I need now
maybe
to
to
start
know
getting
much,
into
yes.
this. Yeah. So that is why I have a Telegram
Trust
group
me,
for members only.
Some of those people who just come here are others who've actually been called elsewhere and want to get to know more that who is this trying to like tell us about how to fly out, in this case, Australia. And some of them have actually like found out, so this kind of work, it's not like where we've been before. Now, my other issue was, Liz, you see, even in this particular forum right away now, you guys have explained, and yet you can still find somebody asking the same question.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to maybe help you a bit in our wall, so that you come up and highlight in those categories of eligibility. You highlight that if you are in this category, what is expected of you is these. Like you highlight them, and maybe you could not be inexact as per figures or money that is expected of you to do all your transactions all the way from start to the time you get the visa. But you can kind of highlight that this could take you like maybe $1 million plus or
I think
something
I've
like
done that, sweetheart.
So
Maybe you've just not seen that.
I've seen it. So what I really wanted to also re-emphasize, I've seen that, yes.
Oh, okay.
And that is why I'm saying you've done your work diligently.
Oh,
many people appreciate this. So one thing you need to do is that to categorize these eligibility issues. I told you we have high school leavers, we have diploma holders, then degree holders. So all of these people, others have their own experiences that they would want to come and continue in Australia.
Yeah,
so
I think Kay did explain that.
Others have nothing to do. Others just want to come and they don't know where to start. Like, what can I do in Australia? You get it?
Yeah.
So it's fine that you highlight all that in written so that instead of each and every person coming to you, like trying to ask this and this, it's good that they can also read on their own, maybe to ease too much questions on your side.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Anybody? Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Hopefully we could answer everyone's questions, but I think the starting point would be sending, the documents that we've asked for, which is the enrollment form, plus the, what else did we ask for, Lizzie? Because I'm like, my brain's fried.
Me, I will provide them all for those one who are on my Telegram group, they have my work email, they have all the documents I post there, because I also want to deal with people who are actually on this. I just don't want to throw myself out there for everyone. And then I get so exhausted. And I'm a mom. I'm a very busy person. You guys know I'm a very, very busy person. I try not to sleep. I try to sleep, but I don't get time to sleep. Yeah. So as Shay has given us this opportunity, yes, we will finish all those.
We will. Hopefully we'll see most of you guys here. Please ask all the questions you need. I know this is going to be very individualized questions. Send the emails or WhatsApp or whatever you need to do. And we will try and answer all of them as much as we can.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Someone asking a question?
Yeah, I think I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Because I know this program, it's something that will got money, you understand? I just want to know, the difference. What's the difference people that are applying for employment visa, the cost, and for student visa, what will be the cost? That is what I want to know.
Student visa cost.
I will send it to you, my dear, because we have different courses. Even I think in Nigeria, someone who is doing a bachelor and someone who is just doing a certificate, they will pay different in terms of school fees, right? That's and someone who is studying a certificate in, let's say, education will pay different with someone who is doing medicine, a certificate. So it is all different. So for you to understand this, I will give you the list of the courses that we have, and then you can see. I think it's even on my TikTok. Do you follow me on my TikTok? Because I posted there.
Yes, I followed you. You. Then again, what is the requirement for this?
With the requirement. With the requirement.
For the university, university requirement.
Yeah, you just reach on me because everyone is different. All right. Because at least you need to have completed year 12 or Form 4 or high school. That is the first, the best.
Of course, I've finished my high school. Yes. You know, in West Africa, we sit this WAS examination.
Yeah.
Have the West African Senior School examination. I finished that one, and as well again, I did some technical course. You understand?
So I think the best thing you will reach on me because to be honest, I want Shay to go. It's already 9 p.m. from her time. I just want her to go. Yeah, and then just try and reach to me. She'll reach me tomorrow. That is fine. I will send you everything.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
thank you. Thank you.
Lizzie, someone's asking for your, oh gosh, going back. There's
Okay,
Telegram link.
When we can accepting the feedback, karibu sana.
Sorry, I'm practicing my Swahili.
This is how to Google Swahili words, I think. Oh,
I'm learning, trying to.
Yeah, if anyone has more questions, please welcome to ask me, because this lady here, she's a very busy person, I'll assure you. And let me guys tell you what happened. She did not know if we were having a meeting today. She knew it was yesterday because some people joined
yesterday. Yeah,
and they had a chat. So
yes.
when we were all waiting, and then I flipped a message, I was like, "Are we having the meeting?" And she's like, "Lizzie," she called me. "Are we having a meeting today?" So it was yesterday.
Oh yeah, I had
So
to
that is
run
why
to the office.
delay. Yeah, so please allow her to go, because to be honest, she's done this out of just sacrifice.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. As much as we can help you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Anything for Lizzie.
Thank you. Thank you. I will allow you to go. If anyone else has a question, please reach on me. I will try as much as possible to use her brains.
Yeah, and yeah, feel free to ask us all the questions. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let you go, but I've sent all my details. Please feel free to reach out to us as well. And I can see a few questions in the message just coming up right now. Let me answer them very quickly. Okay, can I apply for school with transcripts for bachelor's course? You can apply for school as in like a college or a university. Is that what you mean by school?
College.
College, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, if you have completed college in Kenya and you want to come here and do another college certificate, is that what you're saying?
No, I wanted to come and do bachelor's.
Perfect. I was going to say, if you've done diploma or college, it's better off doing a bachelor. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Again, if you send us the information, we will see what you've done in your home country and what's the best bachelor. And then we can send you links, like maybe 3-4 universities. You pick and choose which one you want, but we'll give you an idea of your closest, area. You can apply definitely, and we can help you and assist you with that. How long does the process take for work visa? Okay, work visa, there's a number. So are we talking about 482 visa? On the
748, oh my God.
407, takes a long time, over a year, but 482 visa, I think on average it might take about 2 to 3 months. That's all on the Department of Home Affairs website. As we mentioned before, if you go into the, maybe you arrived late, I'm not sure, but if you go into the Department of Home Affairs and then just put in what visa you want. So if I'm looking at 482 visa, which is a working visa, let me just put that in, there it is. And then if you click on it, it will give you an estimation of how long it takes. There it is, the processing time. So for short term, on average, I would say 2 to 3 months, roughly, okay, give and take. Everything is on the website. Very quickly, yeah. Yes, you can. Whoever's in the hotel hospitality sector, you can apply for 407, 482 visa. All you need is a sponsor. So you need someone to sponsor you, or an employer or a company to sponsor you. But talk to us more, because we could help you in that area. Yes, if you're working in another country, whether it's Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai, whatever it is, let us know more about you, what you've studied, what you're working there, how many years. Then we'll give you a better idea of what you could do and what's the best visa for you.
Can I
Okay.
just ask a quick one?
Yes,
You know, I was to
Joseph.
talk when someone came in. I didn't talk.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm saying I was about to talk.
Na hiki jiko
last
ni
time when
uliacha.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to see who.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
This guy is the one who came before I talk.
See, from my end, everyone's muted, but there's someone who is not muted and I can hear something in the background. Sorry, Joseph, I didn't pick up anything, any of your question.
Okay, I was saying
Yeah.
I'm the one who said I'm in Saudi Arabia now. I've talked several times with Lizzie.
Yes.
So she's really an amazing lady. She's doing great work now.
She is.
I've heard you talk about going to start applying from your country. When I came to Saudi Arabia last year, I came for work, but it's a contract job.
Yes.
That's why we really want to know if I embark on this, the time frames, and if it is possible to apply starting here. I can do the English test here in Saudi Arabia, or what will happen. You see,
Absolutely.
I'm an IT person. I'm an IT person, like the first guy who started, and experience is more than 10 years, and I'm working also in the IT field. Okay, so there is no gaps in employment, and I have a degree in computer information systems. We really want to come to Australia. We get a visa sponsorship.
Sure, I get you, Eric. Yeah, we sort of touched on that. The best thing would be if you give us as much information, your resume, your CV, then we'll be able to.
I'm also from duty.
Sorry, I can't hear myself. I'm just gonna have to see who's not muted. Oh, that's better. Okay, sorry, Eric. I'll start again. So the best thing is to send that resume to Lizzie because she'll get a better understanding of your background. Then from there, we'll tell you whether you can stay in Saudi Arabia or stay in that country and do your IELTS and apply from there. Or it's better moving to your home country and applying from there. So it's all about giving us that enough information. And if we don't have enough information, we'll ask you questions. We'll say,
She has. Lizzie, I think she has my information. I already sent the enrollment form and everything.
Sure.
Lizzie, I've not yet sent because I only came to meet you this morning whilst we are on TikTok. You understand?
Yeah, I've just given here my WhatsApp number. Can you check on them?
This morning was my first time. But again, I just want to say what my brother is saying. I am in Bahrain. I'm a Sierra Leonean. I'm in Bahrain. I'm working for oil and gas company. You understand?
You will tell me that, dear.
I'm a mechanic.
Okay? You will talk to me and tell me that, all right? Yeah,
Okay,
that would be so good. You will tell me everything about you. I also need to see your papers before we do anything, okay?
All right, no problem. Because the question I want to ask, is it necessary for me to get back again to my country? Sierra Leone is too far.
No, you will just come on my WhatsApp. Let's talk there, and then we can see what we can do. All right?
All right, no problem. No problem.
Just relax. You're all right. You're fine.
You're in good hands. Definitely.
No problem. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All good. Yes, I think we have answered everyone. Yes, I think we have. Many thanks. Well, you're welcome, everybody, and hopefully that was useful and informative. Just be a little bit patient with Lizzie because I'm sure she's going to be bombarded with hundreds of text messages and emails, and then I'm going to be bombarded with hundreds later on, but that's okay. We'll try our very best to reach to everybody and answer all your queries. So just be a little bit patient, but we'll get there hopefully. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. All good.
You
Thank
have a good
you.
night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank
Asante
you.
sana.
Karibu sana.
Bye-bye.
Everybody is ready to be a Kenyan.
Hopefully the accent's not bad. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Rebecca. Bye-bye. Thanks, Brittany. Bye.